right, so hi, Naima here. I am 8 days post-op. Today's the first day where I feel like I have more energy. If you hear snoring in the background, that's my dog Twinkie, so just ignore her. But yeah, she's sleeping down at the foot of the bed. Um, but yeah, so day 8. First time I feel like I have energy. I made my own breakfast this morning. When I got up, I actually got up out of bed. Um, and I noticed yesterday, which was day 7, was the first time that I didn't take a nap during the day. So I'm feeling a lot better. I had a rough day on day 6. That was my 1 week post-op appointment, which the appointment, it went really, really well. My doctor loved how the incisions looked. He said I was healing perfectly, and I'm going to follow up with him in 6 weeks. Well, not in 6 weeks, but during 6 weeks post-op. Um, the appointment, the 1 week appointment, it was fine. It didn't take very long. I got there early. My husband wasn't allowed to come in with me because the COVID is spiking back up. And so he ended up just going to Trader Joe's while I was at my appointment. My appointment didn't last very long. Um, the doctor told me he took about 1.2 pounds from each side. I was initially a 34G. Well, actually, when I started the process, I was about a 36G. And, but I lost a lot of weight. So starting last year, I started losing some weight. I wasn't happy with how I looked. I'm a naturally small person. So when I was in high school and college, in college, I was about 110 pounds throughout. In high school, I was about 121 because I was athletic. And in college, I just stopped with, sports and everything. And I guess I dropped some muscle. But I was 110 pounds throughout college. By the time I got married at age 27, and I'm 37 now, I was probably 120 pounds. So I was pretty skinny. My boobs have always been big. I was a 34D throughout high school and college. But of course, on a small frame, it doesn't look as big as it would if you're if you're bigger around. However, after having kids, so I had my first son Ethan when I was about to turn 29, I think 2 weeks before my 29th birthday. And I put on 70 pounds when I was pregnant with him, but I lost it all by the time he was 9 months old. So I was back down to my regular size, but my boobs were a little bit bigger. Then when I had my son Gavin at age 31, I gained 60 pounds with him, but I never quite got back down to what I was. And it's just harder because when you have a toddler and a baby and you have 2 kids and you have a husband who works overnight, which I had, it's a very stressful situation. And so I mostly would eat the food that my toddler would eat because at that time he was a very picky eater. He's not picky anymore, thank God. But my 6-year-old, he's very picky now. So my oldest is 8 years old now. And, but yeah, I never quite got back down to my size. I think my best friend's wedding, which kind of made me, a few things. Being diagnosed with my heart condition in 2018, that gave me a wake up call. And, that was like, all right, I got to start changing some things. And then my best friend's wedding was March of 2019, and I ordered a dress, and I couldn't zip up the back, and the dress was a size 12. So I, after that, I knew that I was gonna go ahead and my breasts were way too big for the dress too. So I knew at that point that I wanted to get a reduction. Yeah. So that's when I got the wheels in motion. So I started losing weight. So saying all that to say, I started to lose weight. And after my first consultation, which was like October of 2019, I told the doctor that I wanted to go through with it. However, I wanted to lose a little bit more weight first. I think at that time, I might have been 160 pounds. And then I got approved, my insurance approved the surgery, and I followed up again in January with a different doctor because I wasn't feeling the doctor that I initially met with. I didn't like his before and after pictures, or his, I should say his after. I didn't like his after pictures. I just didn't like the quality of, I guess the quality of care. I didn't think that his work was aesthetically pleasing. It didn't look like he took care to make sure that, he did the best he could for these women who are seeking to have smaller breasts. So, and I know I'm going off on a tangent. I know. My mind is just kind of all over the place because I feel like I've been loopy for a week and I'm really starting to, come back into, not consciousness. I've been conscious this entire time, but I've just been loopy. But I'm feeling better. I'm starting to feel normal again. I'm starting to feel my brain working and everything. But yes. So by the time I had the surgery, I was 145 pounds, which was my goal. And so I didn't. So technically, I would have lost cup size if I was if I was wearing 34. So I was wearing a 36G. If I was 34, I would have been, 34H. My band size went down after I lost weight. So I still was a 34G at the time that I had the surgery. And I asked the doctor to take me down to a small C. So full B, small C in that area. And when I met with him, he said after I'm healed, when the swelling stops, but the swelling has gone down tremendously. My shape is still a little boxy looking, so it's kind of like a little like kind of boxy at the bottom, but I'm wearing a compression bra every day, and he said that the shape in the next few weeks, the shape will start to settle and round out, and wearing the compression bra helps because it will help shape your breasts in the way you want them to be shaped. And he said about 3 months I should have my final shape. So during this appointment, he also told me to start, first things first. He took off the tape. So I had tape around my incisions. And that was what the appointment was for, to take off the tape and to look at the incision and to see how it was healing. And so he told me that I am healing great. Everything looked good. And he encouraged me to start putting moisturizer on my incisions 3 times a day. So he said that with healing your incision, it's better for it to be moisturized. So whether it's Vaseline, A&D ointment, or any kind of lotion. He said any kind of lotion. It doesn't have to be like a scar cream or anything like that. So what I did was I had my husband go out and get a big jar of Vaseline. I consulted with my mother because my mother also had a breast reduction. She was about 50 years old when she got her breast reduction, and it was different at that time. They completely removed her nipple, which is what they call the free nipple graft. And hers was just different. She had drains. I don't have drains. Her breasts were also a lot bigger. She's a lot heavier than I am right now, or at the time she had her surgery. So hers was just different. I believe she said they took 8 pounds. I think 8 pounds from each side. So if you can imagine, my mom had really, really big breasts. Like they were just big. She needed that breast reduction. Anyway, so he told me to keep the scars moisturized. I asked my mom what I should use. She recommended Vaseline or A&D ointment. And I was going to do A&D ointment, but then I thought I don't like the smell of A&D ointment. So I decided to just do the Vaseline. And then I also looked up some information about, moisturizers after a breast reduction. And I saw some doctor in Las Vegas that does breast reduction, was talking about, not using scar creams on your incision, just using moisturizer like Cetaphil. So I got Cetaphil because it's a mild lotion. So I decided that I'll do Vaseline twice a day and then the Cetaphil once a day. I might reverse that just depending on how it goes. But I will say I notice a difference in how everything is looking. It's starting to look like it's healing more. And, it's not looking, my nipples are starting not to look out of place. My nipples weren't removed. So, I still have my regular nipples and areola, but, there is a stitch around there. So it's starting to, look more like it belongs on my boobs. And so I started doing that. Today was the first day that I took a shower, and it wasn't uncomfortable. So I was able to wash my breasts with soap, and I didn't have any problem. I still have, they're still yellow looking because of the betadine. I'm wondering when that's going to wear off. Who knows? But I feel a lot better. The incisions sting a little bit from time to time, but it's nothing that's unbearable. After my appointment, so my appointment went so well, but then after, like in the car, my husband and I, we took our kids to his mother's house before the appointment, and she lives about 30 minutes away from us. So we had to take them there, and then the appointment was about 20 minutes away from her. So, on the way back to get the kids, and then on the way back home, my incisions were just so irritated. It's like my bra was rubbing against the incisions, like mostly the under incision, and I was in so much pain that day after the appointment because of that. So I decided that until 3 weeks, I am not getting in a car. I'm not driving anywhere. Like, well, I'm not driving, but I'm not riding anywhere until, my 3 weeks, because my doctor said at 3 weeks I should be good. So we'll see how that goes. I'm healing better every day. And the bumpy car ride, no, I was down for the count that day. I had to lay down. Like, I laid down for the rest of the day. I felt horrible. I took a nap, probably a 3-hour nap. It was just, oh my God. It was one of the most uncomfortable feelings that I had. And then felt like the bra just kept irritating the scars, and it was hard because I couldn't take it off. So I had my husband go and get some gauze, and we put gauze under in the under boob section, which it helped a little bit. The next day I woke up, I felt better, and then today I felt even better today. So I'm just glad that I'm starting to feel normal again. Like I said, yesterday, which was day 7, was the first day that I didn't take a nap. And right now I just feel like I have a lot of energy. I was able to do most of my shower myself. My husband still had to help me. He had to help me with washing my hair, which was a little hard. So I can't wait until I can do it myself, because he's not all that great at doing it. And he had to help me wash my back, but I pretty much was able to get everything else. I was moving very slowly with everything though, but everything's so far so good. Everything's going okay. I am thrilled with the results, and I can't wait to see what I look like when everything is settled. I'm really ready for this, the incisions to heal and to close up. I'm a little afraid of putting my arms up. However, my doctor told me to start exercising my arms. So he said, slowly, raising my arm up. If I'm scared, he said I can go along the wall and walk your arm up, because it's important to, it'll mess with your shoulders if you don't really get the exercise. So that's what my doctor recommends. The scary thing is that, it feels like your incision's going to burst open if you put your hands up too high. So, but yeah, so day 8, so far so good. I feel good. I'm excited about the final result, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I put out a new video. Bye.